And there it is, guys. Read it.
This does signify where the prison camp was.
Yeah.
Big storyboard up here.
Okay, guys. There's a story, I know, with glass covered over it. All these places, you know, had high death rates. I mean, it just how it was. I mean, conditions wasn't good, sanitary wasn't great, and it's nobody's fault. It just, you know, just
try to not let it happen again.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all you can do.
Yep, just
Learn from history.
Learn from history. Don't try to change it. Don't rewrite it. Just learn from it and go on. And Elmira's a pretty town. Ain't that? Walking in is really cute. So, guys. Okay, guys, I know you're wondering where Smitty and Junebug are at today. We are in Elmira, New York. We come up here to see where they killed all them Southern Confederate soldiers. And, you know, in that horrible prison camp that nobody wants to talk about. You know, all they want to talk about is Andersonville. So we thought we'd come up here and try to find it. Well, you know, of course, that thing is totally hid.
I think that there's probably some, I think it's private land now where the actual prison was, but hopefully we're going to find a couple of monuments. But we found something interesting on our way to look for that. And that is the gravesite of Samuel Clemens, also known as Mark Twain. So he had a summer house here in Elmira.
So guys, you can pause that and read it, and we will walk in here.
They do have it easily marked.
They do. They do. That's a pretty cemetery. It'd be a fine place to be eternally laid out at. Oh.
Yep.
They got a monument back up. I don't know if this is the original or not. I never read. Somebody stole the bust. I cannot even begin to pronounce the bottom one.
Yeah.
But let's see. One of these is him. There he is. Samuel Leghorn Clemens, Mark Twain. What a great trip me and Miss Junebug has had. Just a beautiful cemetery. Really is. You know, I like cemeteries. What do they call that again? What do they call that again? Cemeteries. Looking. I can't think of the name of it now. I can't do it. Beautiful though, ain't it? Pretty place to be laid down.
Well, it's got, I think there was somebody else here you wanted to look for, right?
Oh, there it is. I'm going to go and look it up. Yeah. Now, just up on the hill over there, a little bit up beyond it, is a Mark Twain. And if you come down to more the entrance off of the plate, there's another famous person here. And that would be Hal Roach.
It says, after leaving Elmira, he found success in Hollywood and motion pictures, but always loved his hometown and has returned.
I'm thinking Little Rascals. Hal Roach Studios. So,
I think there might be one or two more.
I think there's a couple more famous people in this cemetery, yeah.
Let's go see if we can find.
This is a big, nice cemetery. I mean, it's really still well kept. I mean, you know, a lot of times you go to old cemeteries, you know how they're run down.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is still kept. I have seen some recent graves in here. So, anyway, off we go on our cemetery hunt. Okay, we're back. Still in the cemetery. And here is Ernie Davis. The first black.
When he died.
Yeah, he was young.
He's the first African American recipient of the Heisman Trophy. He played his college career at Syracuse, but he was traded to the Cleveland Browns from Washington Redskins, but he was diagnosed with leukemia the same year, and he died shortly after age 23 without ever playing a professional game.
Sad. So young. Ernie Davis.
This is the newer part, we think, of this cemetery, too.
Yeah. Oh, this is really just a gorgeous cemetery. It really is. Couldn't ask for a better place to be laid out for eternity, I don't guess. Just one more comment on Ernie Davis. There is a movie about him, and you can watch it.
It's called The Express, the Ernie Davis story.
So, that's a sad story, though. So, anyway, onward to the next spot.
Okay, in the Civil War, there was a POW camp in Elmira, New York. There's really not much that chronicles or remembers it. I think they tore that prison camp down shortly after the Civil War. But there were a lot of Confederates that died here in this POW camp. And the bodies of the deceased were prepared for burial at the camp, then transferred to the cemetery. The coffins would have a jar with their name in it and any information that the person was willing to share. And then there was a man that was put in charge of overseeing those burials. His name was John W. Jones. We'll show you his burial, his gravesite next. But Jones was very respected. He was a former slave. He was considered to be a sexton, what they call a sexton. He was respectable in his duties and kept such precise records that only 7 out of the nearly 3,000 Confederate men were unknown. And here's the CSA sites.
Are the Confederates that died in Elmira.
And here's the statue that commemorates it.
And down through there. So, why the video? Well, you always hear so much about Andersonville. But remember, victors always write history. And that's why I got this real belief that when wars are over, you just let it be.
The Confederates can feed themselves, let alone their prisoners. Right?
Correct.
What this says. In memory of the Confederate soldiers in the war between the states who died in Elmira prison and lie buried here.
This is why, I say, when wars are over, let people be. Let them live their lives. Because I think war brings out the great things in man, and it brings out things that aren't great. That's why you just let it. When it's over, let things lie. Leave people be.
And now we're going to go show you
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones.
Very interesting story, though. We kind of found this story up
By accident.
by accident. Just coming to
And I think that they have a museum that they've been working on for Mr. Jones.
and
It's not too far from here. But
yeah, And we really come to, of course, this area, to Watkins Glen, to
the Finger Lakes,
to do the little Gore Trail. Some of it. I doubt we'll walk all of it. It's like 800 steps. Could you imagine me? I'd be huffing and puffing. But this was just a thing that we picked up while we were here. But
well, we knew that Elmira.
Well, I knew Elmira was a prison.
Elmira.
Right, was a prison camp. But we really come to do the Gore thing. And, you know, it's kind of cloudy day. The gorge, yeah.
The gorge.
To see the falls. But we just decided, hey, you know, little cloudy day, thought we'd get out. It's supposed to be cloudy tomorrow, but, you know, we're hoping for a little bit better conditions. Anyway, guys, onward to Mr. Jones. At the start of this video, we talked about the prison here in Elmira during the Civil War. And still a beautiful place. But anyway, we were talking about that you know, sometimes history is funny on what it recalls, what it don't recall. But here, to end this video, is a very interesting story we found. And it was John W. Jones.
So, he risked his life to escape bondage, then dedicated his life to bury those who might enslave him. As a runaway slave, he helped 800 others escape to freedom through the Elmira Underground Railroad. As a sexton of Woodlawn National Cemetery, he buried with honor and respect 2,973 Confederate soldiers who died in the Elmira prison camp.
The moment you resolve injustice, nothing can hinder you to show others the way. And Mr. Jones was born June 21st, 1817, and died December 26, 1900.
Good story.
Good story. And sometimes, you know, good stories make up for bad. So guys, this was our trip to Elmira Cemetery. There are a lot of famous people here. And Woodlawn
Cemetery.
Yeah.
And it's right next to the Woodlawn National Cemetery.
Right next, yeah, to the national one. So if you're ever in this area, you know, and want to look at some very famous people, you know, it's a great place. Okay, guys, we'll get you in the next video.